Hello and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Cleavage. So I'm going to try to make something I heard about for the first time the other day. It's called a pasta frittata. It's what you do with leftover pasta. So I've looked up several recipes and all of them say 6 eggs, but they vary how much pasta. Like one says 1 cup of pasta, one says 4 ounces of pasta, one says 8 ounces of pasta. The reason why I'm saying this is because I only had 4 eggs in my fridge. So I'm just going to kind of play it by ear. I'm not going by any measurements. It's like if you're making an omelet. Do you like measure exactly how much salt and pepper you put in there and how much of the whatever you're going to put in your omelet? No, it's really just what you feel like doing, right? So I'm not measuring any of this. This is 4 eggs right here. So I'm going to put I have Parmesan cheese right here. I'm just going to put what looks right. I mean, one recipe called for a half a cup, another recipe called for 1/8 of a cup. I'm just going to sprinkle it. That probably is enough, huh? And then just season this a little bit, like I would if I were making an omelet. I'm going to put some salt. That's probably good. I went twice as much as I normally do if I'm making 2 eggs, you know? And then I'm just going to put a little bit of this pepper seasoning that we use down here, Tony Chachere's. Season it up a little bit. And then I'm going to mix this egg mixture. Until all one of the instructions says, mix it until all the streaks are gone. Okay. But you just want to get it all well blended, okay? So then we're going to step over to the pasta over here. It says the main thing you want to do is make sure the pasta's not cold. So I'm going to light the stove, and it says medium high. What do you think? About that much? That looks good, right? Combination? Okay, so I'm going to put this. It says to put it in the pan. You just want to get it warm with a little bit of water. It says 2 tablespoons, but I'm just going to put a splash of water in there. A couple of splashes. And then you just make sure it gets warm. That's all you want to do. It also said it helps if the pasta's a little al dente. I try to make my pasta al dente anyway when I make it. But it says to cook it until it's warm, but before it starts sizzling. And it says to drain all the water out, but there's really not that much water to drain out of here. Huh? It's not collecting anywhere. You can't really drain it. So then the next thing you do is you just put this in the egg mixture. And then we'll test to see if that looks like it's the right amount. Oh, I forgot to put the olive oil in here too. I think we could do a little bit more pasta. What do you think? A little bit more? Maybe like that. Okay. A little bit more water. And it did say to put some olive oil in here, so that's what I'm going to do. It says like 2 tablespoons, but I'm just going to kind of eye it. That's probably like a tablespoon and a half. I think it's really just to get the flavor in here. Oh, look, there's pasta on the stove now. We just cleaned this stove. Okay, warm, but before it starts sizzling. So that looks like it's getting ready to start sizzling. Okay, let me put it all in there. Okay, we got a little pasta. Then it says to turn it down to medium low. I'm going to put it like this. And add some olive oil to the pan. I think we can add a little bit more Parmesan. And they had different, like I said, it's a variations can like vary. You could vary it in tons of ways. They had one that put greens in it, one that put tomatoes in it, one that put cheddar instead of Parmesan. It just really depends what you want to do. Let me just get all the oil all over the place. And I'm using a non-stick. Obviously, you can tell by the way the oil's going right here. I'm using a non-stick pan, but it also said you don't need a non-stick pan. You could use a skillet. It might just be harder to turn it. You're going to see what I mean when I actually turn it. So I'm turning it a little bit down because it said to turn it down to medium-low. And then you just put it in the pan, just like this. Put everything in there. Just like an omelet, see? And it said that you want to cook it until the sides, the edges look like they're... Let me finish this. It said you want to cook it until the sides look like they're done. About 8 minutes it said it would take. So that should be about, I don't know, I didn't look at it when I did it, but I'm going to check it around 6:40, I think it would be. It looks like the edges are cooking. So maybe I do have time to make that Manhattan. Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to make a Manhattan. I don't know if I've ever made a Manhattan for y'all, but I'm in the mood to drink a Manhattan, so I'm going to make one right now. And I got this really good Woodford double oaked. I know you're not supposed to use the best bourbon like this, but I'm just going to make one Manhattan with this and see how it tastes. So what you want to do is use 2 parts of whiskey. People drink all kinds of Manhattans. They'll drink Scotch Manhattans sometimes. I mean, you don't have to use bourbon. And then, so 2 parts of whiskey and 1 part sweet vermouth. I like the sweet vermouth part. When I first started making Manhattans, I don't remember using bitters, but I looked up a recipe recently. It said to use 1 to 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. That's 2. But I went somewhere recently and she made me a very bitter Manhattan. And I was like, it's not supposed to be this bitter, you know? Alright. And you just stir it really well. You don't want to shake this. It'll bruise the liquor, as they say. So, my strainer. I'm going to strain it straight into the glass. And then you add a cherry. I like my Manhattan with 2 cherries, actually. So, these are Luxardo cherries. All right. Cheers. Yum. All right, now let's see where we are. I'll set the timer so we wouldn't forget. It feels like it's done. So I'm going to do this. They say to go up and over onto a plate. Ooh, I did that. Okay. And then take some more olive oil. They say don't just go over, go up with it. So that was my first time. I didn't do bad. Put more olive oil down in the pan. Get that around. And then you just slide it right back on there like that. Look at that cheese. And then they said that would be about 7 minutes. So I'm going to cancel this. Turn it off. Since it really only took about off. Oh, I turned off what? I think. It might be even 5. So I'm going to check it after it maybe has like a minute left because we turned it and look how done that is. That's done in the middle. So, and it still had a couple more minutes on there. So maybe in this pan, it just takes quicker. Or maybe I have it too high. Who knows? I do have a girl I know, she makes very good eggs, and she says omelets aren't supposed to be brown, and I was like, ooh, I don't know about that. But it said medium low, so I don't know. A frittata sometimes gets browned on top in the oven, so whatever. Okay, so we have about 2.5 minutes left of the 7 they said it would take us. But like I said, we're using less. We're not using as much. There, slider on that side, and that's your frittata. So then you just wanna. You can cut it up, however you want. A piece for me, and a piece for my cameraman over there, so we can taste it. Of course, it's still pretty hot right now. Wow. Look how much that's steaming. We'll just try half of a piece. I'm gonna give us these pieces. Probably would work better with a knife. But I'll just do it like this, and then give me a second. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I'll just use this fork since I have it right here. And you could do whatever. Like the recipe I read, it said that you could do like, even if it has sauce on the pasta, you just cook the sauce with the pasta in the pan. You don't even need to add the water like I did if it has sauce. And then you can add, if you don't want that, you could even add tomato sauce onto the top of this and make it into another dish. I don't know. I don't know what Jay thinks. He took a bite. It's almost like baked macaroni. My mom used to make a great baked macaroni. I'm gonna have to make that for y'all. Oh, that was the timer. Okay, well, this was a short and sweet one, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed me telling y'all how to one thing you can do with leftover pasta. And I'll see y'all soon, okay? Thanks for joining me for Cooking with Cleavage.